we go again. I mean, this is the truth show, and there's more. Oh, I'm not done yet. Oh, and there's more. Oh, I'm not done yet. I mean, this is the truth show. Oh, yes.
Hello, everyone. Just waiting for more people to come in the room. How y'all doing on this Wednesday? Wednesday at 3:30. I decided to go a little early because I'm always going late. So I was like, I'm going to go early this time. What the hell? So we are going to see what the deal is. I'm gonna wait for more people to come in. How y'all doing this Wednesday? How you doing? I hope my picture is clear. I had to change my well, let me get the drift. Okay, I don't understand that now. I don't understand that. You have to explain what you just put there. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm assuming some of you are probably reporting from like work or something along those lines. Yes, here's your girl. And no, I'm not dressed up. Y'all know me. I'm not gonna do all dressed up stuff. You're just gonna get me. Is it Tunisia? Are you a bot or something? I think Tunisia, whatever. I think she's a bot. I'm gonna have to remove her. I don't think that's a real person. Seems like a bot. Or you're not a bot. Okay, do you speak another language? What language is that? Girl, the higher market is bad anyway, so do not feel bad. I mean, the higher market is crazy. So don't feel bad. I changed my background. This is not a background that's in my office. This is something I found online. I was like, you know what? I don't know if I like the girl behind me on my fake crime board. So I just found something online. What are you good at? And what is your sign? Are you among the 4 signs that's been going through hell these past 10 years? Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus. Are you one of those signs? Because then I can completely understand. We all have been feeling it. Trust me. So do not feel bad about that. Okay, we have a really long show, and I just want to, get through it. Let's go ahead and do this. Just to let you know, if I'm looking to my left and you're right, that is where the software I'm reading your comments and things of that nature, and to see myself in the camera. My camera is up there. Right. My camera's up there. My slideshow is over here. So I've been looking at slideshow videos and everything that you've been looking at. A lot of these videos I didn't see through, I just scammed through. So some of them I will be watching with you for the first time. So if you see me looking at the left a lot, because I'm looking at myself in the camera to make sure that I'm looking okay and to read your comments as well. So my left, your right is camera, comments, yada. My right, your left is operating the slideshow, and up above is the camera. And I may look over here as well at my other monitors to look at other pages to see if I missed anything over there. Okay. Oh, you're a nurse practitioner. Okay. A psych nurse practitioner. Wow. Oh, you're in Germany. Oh, okay. Germany. Okay. I don't know German. I'm sorry. Well, good luck to you. And what sign are you? Are you one of those 4 signs that I mentioned? Because that would definitely explain a lot. Well, let's get on with the show. We can discuss that a little later. I'm in the same boat as you, trust me, when it comes to the job market and things. Like this channel, I'm not getting anything from this channel. I'm practically doing all this for free. So trust me, I know exactly how you're feeling. You are not alone in that department, love. This is a new camera, so you're gonna be pretty much seeing me up and close. This is my complexion. I know in the other cameras I dim it so I can look darker, but this is my complexion. You see my hands? They pretty much match my hands. Yeah. This is when I turn this off. This is how I look without the light. A little darker. This is how I look with the light. See? And if I tone it down, makes me look darker. You see how light can manipulate your skin tone? Don't you just love that shit? All right, so we got a really good show. That you know me, I like to entertain you. I like to be organized. I'm not like most YouTubers where I'm just up here just randomly saying some stuff. No, I have to have stuff organized. It has to be organized. It has to be looking. You guys know me. I have to be organized. Right now, I'm just looking at my posts here. So if you guys want to chat with me, this is a perfect time to chat with me now that I'm, able to look at the comments and not go full zone into my mode here, which is what I'm pretty much going to start doing in just a moment. Okay, who else? Okay, we got someone from Germany. Who else do we have here? Do we have some United States people in here? Do we have some USA people in here? Do I just have people overseas? But welcome to the Truth Show, my overseas people. I'm so grateful. Do we have anybody else here that's from United States? Hi, Eva. Oh, you from Arkansas? I know you from Arkansas, honey. Welcome. She's my regular. I have a regulars. We have regulars here. We have regulars. Yes, we do. We have regulars. Oh, you from the U.S.? Okay. Oh, you are from the U.S. Okay. Or maybe I read it wrong or something. Yeah, I probably just read it wrong. Okay. Well, again, like I said, welcome, my truth seekers. My name is Keisha. Welcome to the Truth Show. In this live show, I will be discussing the most recent developments regarding Donald Trump. Indeed, he is still embroiled in disputes with, I already told you guys about Harvard and Apple and all that stuff. Whatever. Good luck with him and the Harvard stuff, and definitely good luck with the Apple stuff, because the White House uses Apple products all the time, and you really don't want to screw up your base. Didn't he read The Art of War? That's right. He don't read. Never mind. I will not be discussing that. I'm going to tell you how that's going on right now. Harvard is fighting him. Harvard is actually giving free online classes, so you might want to sign up for that. I'm thinking about signing up for that for like creative writing or something like that. Apple, good luck, Trump. No, I'm being sarcastic because you're screwed there. Don't fuck with the base that is feeding you. It's Apple. It's like messing with China and potentially Russia. Not to mention a large, magnificent bill that will probably bankrupt the nation and host of another serious issues that we're currently dealing with. And of course, I have Diddy news, among other things. With that said, here are your warnings. Oh, Las Vegas. I've never been to Vegas. Oh, I'm makeup free here. Makeup free, baby. I might got a little lip gloss on, though. I've never been to Vegas, ever. All I did is literally, you guys, brush my hair to the back. You see, brush my hair to the back. This is mine. And just do some earrings on. Lip gloss. That was done. I know I'm pretty lazy sometimes. I've never been to Vegas before. Oh my gosh. I lived a very sheltered life. I don't know how many times I got to tell you guys that. I lived a very sheltered life. Anyway, here are your warnings. Share, 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 you guys. Share, share, share.
Please note that this is all alleged. I've never met any of these people. I've deeply researched all of my information. This is a trigger warning. In this video, I may be talking about or showing sensitive material about some subjects or topics that may be disturbing or upsetting or may bring forth some troubling memories, as you read in the description or title. With that said, either end the video now or brace yourself. Aside from that, enjoy.
All right, fantastic. Okay, let's get this party started. We're going to start off with politics, as you know. Also, I'll be talking about the AMAs, a brief recap, and Diddy news, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so we are in this crazy pardon war, so to speak, that Trump has inflicted on us. Now, pardons has been made by Donald Trump and has issued a series of pardons, including controversial decision to pardon Scott Jenkins, a former Virginia sheriff convicted of federal bribery charges. He has also pardoned individuals involved in the January 6th Capitol riots and anti-abortion activists. Oh, yes, he did. Convicted under the FACE law, FACE Act, and more. Here is the list of his pardons. Let's discuss these pardons that he's been doing here. Okay. First is the January 6th riot. Defendants on his inauguration day, Trump granted full pardons to nearly 1,500 individuals. So everyone who stormed that Capitol, which is a terrorist act, which means Trump is acting like a negotiated terrorist or head of a terrorist group, which, as you know, we do not negotiate with terrorists. As you know. So he granted full pardons to nearly 1,500 individuals charged in connection with the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot. This included both nonviolent participants and those convicted of violent crimes against law enforcement. He also commuted the sentences of 14 prominent figures from far-right groups, including Enrique Tarrio, a former Proud Boys leader, and Stuart Rhodes, founder of Oath Keepers. That's these two individuals here. Oh, yes. Yeah, Trump is a criminal, a racist, and a terrorist, so he looks out for criminals and racists and terrorists, apparently. He doesn't care about America. If you guys don't know that right now, he doesn't care about America. He only look out for his own kind, if you haven't figured that out already. Oh, you from Little Rock, Arkansas? Okay. What's the living situations down in Las Vegas? I mean, are there nice homes down there? How's the weather? I'm curious. I'm thinking about moving. Just a curious question. All right. Anyway, moving right along here. So he pardons these people. Matter of fact, no, I need to go back to that. I have something else to say. So he's pardoning these people who destroyed history. Like, not history, I mean, historical artifacts. They were all in these prominent Congress members, Senate members, whoever, offices, destroying their office, going through their death. They were acting like a fool. Now, if that was a bunch of Negro and Black people, we would have been shot the fuck up. They would have shot us up, put us in the back of a freaking bus, paddy wagon, what the hell they put people in, I don't know. But they would have definitely had a different outcome than that riot did in 2021. And our president, who's supposed to represent America, pardoned all of those criminals. Now, a lot of them criminals do not agree with the fact that they've been pardoned. But I just want you guys to see what kind of president we have, because I think his message or his image has been a little bit misconstrued, and we need to talk about this seriously. And then we have Ross Ulbricht. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his name. Ross Ulbricht, and Scott Jenkins. Now, Ross Ulbricht, the founder of Silk Road Dark Web Marketplace, if you guys know what that is, it's dirty, deep, and just criminal, and that you can access through Google, that pretty much partnering with YouTube and pays the influencers who have been serving a life sentence since 2015 for charges related to drug distribution, money laundering. Now, this fulfilled a campaign promise Trump made. Okay, he made a 2024 Libertarian National Convention that he made during that particular convention that he made this promise that he was going to help this dude out. You all see the trend here? Just want to make sure you guys see the trend here. Y'all see the trend here, right? Okay, just want to make sure we're on the same page. This is the trend here. Oh, let's go back to that. I'm still not done. Scott Jenkins, Trump pardoned Scott Jenkins, a former Virginia convicted sheriff. He's a former Virginia sheriff convicted of bribery after accepting over $75,000 in exchange for granting law enforcement authorities to civilians. Jenkins' co-defendants pleaded guilty as he was sentenced to 10 years in prison before Trump intervened, calling him a victim of an overzealous Biden. That's what he said. Just a second. Oh boy, sorry. I had to cough. Sorry about that. Okay. So overzealous Biden, Department of Justice. So he overturned it because primarily he didn't like Biden. He didn't like the fact that Biden pretty much, just a second, I need some water. Okay. He didn't like the fact that Biden his people convicted this man in the first place. So, Trump, he has to go in and you be like, hold up, you know what? Biden did it, let's overturn it. Because him, he has to go against anything, the Democrats or anything that oppose his, opposition and decision, because that's the kind of man he is. Oh, that's good. That's fantastic. You said it's cheaper than California. It's hot like Phoenix, and Palm Springs is high desert. So it gets cold during the winter. Let me put this up here. I need to part. I'm sorry. You said it gets cold during the winter, but rarely it snows. Okay. I love the heat. I love the sun. I really do. Primarily because I'm barely in the sun, so I can really use some sun. I'm like pale. My legs are even whiter. Oh, so they are building homes. Okay, I'm gonna have to look at the list. All right, so overzealous Biden, Department of Justice. Are you guys noticing a trend here that's going? I just want to make sure you guys notice a trend that's happening here, because I feel that it's been, I don't know, ignored. Just want to make sure you guys understand that. And then you guys probably heard about these two individuals, Todd and Julie Chrisley. Trump pardoned reality TV stars Todd and Julie Chrisley, who were convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion. Their daughter, Savannah Chrisley, had been advocating for their release, and Trump described their sentences as outrageous. Like, what? This is not a crime. So what? They, went to jail or whatever for tax evasion. Who cares? I evade taxes and cheat on taxes all the time. I'm not in jail, so therefore they shouldn't be in jail. This is Trump, and this is how he thinks. I'm just being honest. This is how he thinks. So this is Trump thinking his normal criminal way. Just want to point that out. So he pardoned these two individuals. And then we got Paul Wojcik. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his name. Wojcik. Trump pardoned Wojcik a former nursing home executive convicted of tax evasion after withholding $10.9 million from employees' paychecks. So dude was ripping off employees for approximately total of $10.9 million. And again, anyone who has a similar crime to Trump, he is going to pardon because he's a criminal his damn self. He's been evading taxes for years and he's still free. He should never have been president. He should have been literally thrown in jail. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. So his pardon came weak, but here's the deal with this particular individual here. His pardon came weeks after his mother attended a $1 million per ticket fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago. You see, anyone who favors or reminds him of himself or could pay him enough money, he will pardon. Who cares if they're rapists, murderers, traffickers, drug dealers, thieves, and con artists? Who gives a damn? Trump only cares about the money and himself, and that is a fact. Just want to point that out. All right? Take a look at these clips.
President Trump says he's pardoning a former Virginia sheriff who was convicted of federal bribery charges. Scott Jenkins was the sheriff of Culpeper County in Northern Virginia. In December, he was convicted of accepting more than $70,000 from local businessmen in exchange for positions within his department. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison and was set to report to jail tomorrow. But in a social media post, Trump said he was unjustly treated, writing, quote, "This sheriff is a victim of an overzealous Biden Department of Justice and doesn't deserve to spend a single day in jail."
Sure.
They were reality TV stars who rose to fame by showcasing a life of luxury and glamour, but federal prosecutors say all of that was built on an elaborate scheme to defraud banks to the tune of $30 million, hopping from one scheme to another. That couple could be walking out of prison as early as this morning with the president's pardon. This morning, President Trump set to fully pardon reality TV stars Todd and Julie Chrisley after they were convicted of tax evasion and bank fraud. The president calling their daughter Savannah from the Oval Office with the news.
That's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing, but it's a great thing because your parents are going to be free and clean, and I hope we can do it by tomorrow.
The couple made famous by their hit TV show Chrisley Knows Best, capturing their glamorous lifestyle and family drama.
Prada is better than Gucci.
Gucci's better than Prada. I don't even know what Prada is. But federal prosecutors say that empire was built by defrauding banks of more than $30 million, submitting fake bank statements to get loans, then using the money on luxury cars, homes, and clothes.
Yeah, that's what he pardoned.
Donald Trump just gave a full pardon to a man whose mother just weeks before spent over $1 million to dine with Donald Trump. It's just blatant corruption. Paul Walczak, a former nursing home executive who pleaded guilty to tax crimes days after the 2024 election, submitted a pardon application to Donald Trump. The application focused not solely on his offenses, but also on the political activity of his mother. The mother had raised millions of dollars for Donald Trump's campaigns and those of other Republicans, the application stated. It also highlighted her connections to an effort to sabotage Biden's campaign in 2020. Weeks went by and there was still no pardon until the mother was invited to a $1 million per person fundraising dinner last month that promised face-to-face access to Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. And then what do you know? Less than 3 weeks after that dinner, Donald Trump signed a full and unconditional pardon. Just to be clear, they're not even trying to hide the political motivations here. They literally said in the application that, like, yeah, we helped your campaigns. I'm going to give you $1 million. You should help out Paul Walczak. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your political beliefs are. Every single American should be able to acknowledge that this is blatant corruption. Clear as day. In Trump's America, if you commit a crime on his behalf or you donate a bunch of money to him, you get a pardon. Terrible precedent to set. As a reminder, I post on YouTube, Instagram, Substack, and more. The link is in my bio. Check it out. It would mean a lot.
He's not lying either. Those are facts. So the question is, let me explain some things here. Okay. How can you fight these pardons? Well, you can definitely fight the pardons. Yes, a presidential pardon can potentially be challenged or overturned in federal court under certain circumstances, while the president pardon power is broad, generally considered. Nearly absolute for federal offenses. There are some limitations. There are certain limitations and legal questions about its scope and applications. Key points here. Legal challenges. A pardon itself can be challenged if there is an argument that it was issued in violation of constitutional principles, such as being part of a corrupt bargain or abuse of power. Recession of revocation. Once issued, a federal pardon is typically final and cannot be revoked or returned by courts. However, if a pardon is issued based on fraud, misrepresentation, courts might scrutinize its validity. So, which means if Trump is doing this because of some kind of fraud or because of coercion, bribery, or anything that stands for illegal activity, we're not talking about Biden's son, who he gave to the courts for justice for so many months, and they was just doing stupid stuff. They couldn't even reach a decision. They couldn't even bring a legitimate or valid or evidentiary reason to even arrest this man or keep him arrested or wherever his state was at that time. So Biden had to pardon him. He had every legal right to do that. Trump is doing it because he's a fucking criminal. So if they find any of those factors, any validity or anything of misrepresentation or fraud, they can definitely fight this. Now, impact on civil rights. A pardon restores certain rights, but does not erase the conviction itself from the records unless specifically stated. So in summary, while a presidential pardon cannot be simply overturned by a federal court in the usual sense, its validity can be challenged under specific circumstances, and courts may review whether it was issued lawfully. Okay? Which means if they want to fight this particular pardon that Trump has inflicted, has put on, has done against criminals, they have every legal right to do so. They can overturn those pardons if they want to. They feel Trump is abusing power. They can overturn the 1,500 people who stormed the state capitol, which is an act of terrorism. They can do that. That's been since 2021. So far, our justice system haven't done shit. I don't know what they're doing. They let Trump do any and everything he wants, and nothing has been done. So I don't know what they're going to do. Judging from what I'm seeing right now, I would not hold my breath for anything to be done against Trump and whatever he's doing right now. Because right now, I'm seeing nothing. He's president, and he was, indicted 34 times. He shouldn't even been president. He should have been locked up. I would have locked his ass up before he even became the Republican nominee. I would have done that. Fuck that. I don't know what they're scared for. That's the problem. They're fucking scared. Shit. They're scared for. No one cares about Trump like that. So this is where we're at currently in our political system. Well, I'm not done yet. It goes crazy. Let's talk about his cryptocurrency, because Trump is having a ball with his cryptocurrency as well. Let's talk about that. Let me see if I can get some background music here. Let's see here. Suspense. Here we go. Okay, so in terms of the cryptocurrency news, it seems that Trump media announced plans to invest $2.5 billion into a Bitcoin treasury, signaling a stronger focus on cryptocurrency. His sons, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, along with Vice President J.D. Vance, are attending a Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. So he's taking his presidency to get paid, which he cannot do. Yes, it seems that Trump has recently hosted an exclusive cryptocurrency dinner at his golf club in Virginia, inviting the top 220 investors in his meme coin, called the Trump coin, basically. Now, the event was billed as the most exclusive invitation in the world. So he's using his presidency to garner money, with attendees collectively spending $394 million on a token. Now, the dinner sparked controversy as critics accused Trump of selling access to the presidency through the event. Some of the invited traders reportedly held crypto assets linked to far-right ideologies, raising further ethical concerns. Now, the top 25 investors were granted a VIP reception with Trump, while the top 4 received a limited edition Trump Tourbillon watch worth $100,000. So he was trying to sell items. Yeah. So Trump's crypto vineyard or Venture, World Liberty Financial, has been a major focus of his administration. He want to come up off this president. This president is just not to save America. He don't give a fuck about America. He only cares about himself. He is trying to come up financially, which he made abundantly clear. If you guys want to donate, click that link above and donate to the channel. That really helped me out. Just saying, I'm trying to raise $1,500. Now, Liberty Financial has been a major focus of his administration, within his family holding 60% stake in the company. So this is benefiting him. He's using the presidency to garner money, and that's illegal. Now, the dinner was seen as a way to boost the Trump value, so to speak, this token, which has fluctuated significantly since its launch. But get this. Cryptocurrency dinner has raised legal and ethical concerns, particularly regarding his use of presidential seal, because he used the presidential seal to invite these people to this event, which he cannot do. If it's something personal, he ain't supposed to use any presidential influence, money, whatever, to fund this dinner, to pay for this dinner, which we know Trump has been using nothing but our tax money to fund everything he's doing right now. Now, according to federal law, the seal is strictly regulated and should only be used for official government purposes. Using it as a private for-profit event could imply government endorsement, which may violate the 18 U.S.C. 713 Executive Order 11649 law. So he's breaking laws, and we need a legal pad to keep up with all the laws that this man has fucking broken. I'm just going to put that out there. He has broken several laws. Just meaning Trump is breaking many laws, as we has been saying, and I have been saying before, while running for president again. He want to run for president again. He's trying to set his way to run again in 3 years. So he want to run again in 3 years because he feels that he's the bomb and everyone loves him. And, you know, even though the election was rigged, Elon Musk rigged the election for him to get into office, hence why the backlash and the marches. All the people that was marching then suddenly changed their votes. They're wondering how their votes did not get counted and how the fuck did he become president. That's what those marches were primarily for. So for him thinking that, oh my gosh, I am turning people against me all of a sudden, but I can garner their love back, he's completely delusional, as we freaking know. So additionally, lawmakers are questioning whether the dinner violated the foreign so you gotta understand, he violated a lot of emolument clause. It's called emolument clause or monument clause. Clause, C-L-A-U-S-E, clause of the U.S. Constitution, okay, which prohibits a president from accepting gifts from foreign entities without congressional approval. He has to get approval from Congress before accepting gifts. And as you know, Trump don't ask for approval for a fucking damn thing. He does it without approval, without whatever. He does whatever the hell he wants. You can't tell him what to do. That's weird. As soon as my husband comes home, my connection goes bad. It's strange. Anyways, reports suggest that many attendees were foreign investors, raising concerns about potential foreign influence. So again, these are grounds for impeachment and for prison. Now, some legal experts argue that Trump's financial gain from the event and since his presidency could constitute a conflict of interest, which I pretty much said, and I have been saying even before he even got fucking into office good enough. He was in office maybe a couple weeks or so, and I was already saying that shit. But you know what's going on with my channel. So especially do you understand? Given his administration a pro-crypto stance, senators like Jeff Merkley and Chuck Schumer have even introduced legislation aimed at preventing senior officials from profiting from these cryptocurrencies. As I said, I've been saying it since day one. However, while the White House insists that Trump's involvement was personal, critics see the dinner as selling access to presidency. If violations are confirmed, Trump could face a lot of legal consequences, as he did prior to him becoming the president. They need to make a law. If you have a record, if you have a record in terms of being sued or whatever the case may be, you are not eligible for presidency. It doesn't have to always coincide with what the Constitution said. You can put this into law that will coincide with becoming the president. If you have a rap sheet, or you have terrible financial integrity or history where you filed bankruptcy more than once, or no senatorial, legal, or whatever, or if you're cognitive impaired or a fucking idiot, and you can't memorize the 10 Commandments, you can't memorize, even know the Constitution. If you don't know these particular things or knowledge, you shouldn't be eligible for presidency. This should be written into a law, and this should be a bill they should be passing instead of that one of the beautiful bill, whatever crap they're trying to pass right now. We'll talk about that later. This is what they should be passing, and this should be what they should be trying to do. So we won't have another Trump in the office who is a fucking convicted criminal and a con artist and a thief and a compulsive liar, and he's suffering from early sites of freaking dementia, and he's a narcissistic, malignant. Don't get me started because I can go on with the names. Okay, just want to point that out. Like I said, this should have happened years ago. Before he became president, Trump should have been in jail years ago. I'm going to go ahead and put that out. I know my channel pretty much streamed for Trump supporters in a center part of the world. They don't have my channel streamed to just stream whoever gets it, hit it. No, they have my stuff literally streamed into a small part of America. I noticed that before. Just want to point that out. That's what they do into my channel. Take a look at these clips.
Well. All those influencer crypto bros who paid absurd amounts of money into Trump's scam coin, also they could go to his scam gala and get some FaceTime with him, ended up just getting Walmart steaks and didn't even get to have time with him. In other words, they got scammed. Who could have guessed that was going to happen?
Donald Trump's press secretary accidentally gave away his presidential immunity. Now, as you know, Donald Trump has been selling a meme coin, and he's been using those sales to grant access to the president of the United States. In fact, he just had a dinner where the top 20 or 25 investors would be able to meet with him. When asked about that dinner and asked for a guest list, Carolyn Levitt had this to say.
Question has been raised with the president. I have also addressed the dinner tonight. The president is attending it in his personal time. It is not a White House dinner. It's not.
Okay, well, it's his personal time. So everything associated with that dinner, the guest, any access that's granted, any favors that are given, are all done on his personal time and not part of his official duties, which is where presidential immunity lies. So in the future, when Donald Trump is facing criminal investigations, this clip is going to be played. And while Donald Trump and his team may not realize it now, she has just got herself off of the Trump guest list going forward. Beautifully done, Carolyn.
Oh, I cannot believe Fox News actually aired this, y'all. Watch how they expose the pumpkin live on air. Peep this.
I mentioned a staggering level of corruption.
And I just got to note that the staggering level of corruption from last night's meme coin dinner.
That's what you're
No,
talking about.
40%, no, 40% of Donald Trump's wealth has been accumulated since he became president because of 2 crypto coins. New York Times did interviews with foreign buyers of this cryptocurrency. Came over here to have dinner with him. A guy from South Korea.
This is
saying
not even
it's
part of this.
kind of, so what?
We're talking about a meme coin.
No, I'm talking about who's corrupt and who is profiting off the American office.
Did he try to cover that up? I don't think so.
Yeah, Caroline Levitt.
This isn't even part of the segment. What are you doing? Y'all catch how Homeboy was trying to stop her from exposing shit? Nah, bro. Get some popcorn and enjoy the show.
Unbelievable. Told you he's telling me he came up since his presidency. I told you. You see, Trump's administration has taken a pro-crypto stance, rolling back prior restrictions and making the U.S. more welcoming. This is what they're trying to do. This is the image they're trying to sell. Now, this is them talking about this shit. This is not what's really going on here. I want to point that out. Okay? So, again, he's taking a pro-crypto stance, rolling back prior restrictions and making the U.S. more welcoming to digital access. This has included dropping SEC for SEC investigations, allowing 401k cryptocurrency investments, and even proposing a national Bitcoin reserve to position the country as crypto superpower. Now, crypto can also be a way to embezzle or do really evil trading when it comes to like trafficking and illegal things without a lot of trace. I want to point that out. So Trump-backed World Liberty Financial has also, this was also on Project 2025, has also expanded internationally, securing blockchain agreements with Pakistan, which has sparked geopolitical concerns. However, Trump's deep involvement with cryptocurrency is raising ethical and legal concerns, particularly following his exclusive crypto investor dinner, where top traders receive presidential access in exchange for their investments. Critics argue that this event blurred the lines between personal profit and public office, with some attendees tied to far-right financial groups. Lawmakers are now scrutinizing whether, I'm going to say crucial. Yeah, I was going to say 2 things at once. Scrutinizing whether Trump's crypto dealings violate federal laws, including potential breaches of the foreign emoluments. So, the emoluments clause and restrictions on the use of presidential seal for private events. Remember, he did that before. He hosted this thing using a presidential seal, and he's trying to come up financially while being a president, which he cannot do. In other words, Trump is a fucking crook and he should be in jail. Let's go ahead and put that out there. And then we have the fight here. We have Trump, Musk, and Putin feud. Then there's the feud between Trump, Putin, and Musk. And get this, it goes very deep. Because I know you guys have been seeing this. Y'all have definitely been seeing this. Let's go ahead and put that out there. I think this is something you guys should definitely be paying attention to. It seems that one close allies, Trump and Musk, are now at odds over government spending and trade tariffs. Musk, who led the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, has criticized Trump's big, beautiful bill, arguing that its increases for the federal deficits rather than reducing it. Musk has also opposed Trump Liberation Day tariffs, which had disrupted global supply chains crucial to his businesses. Oh, yes. Again, Musk, if you had just stayed out of politics or voted and campaigned for Kamala, you would have been so freaking rich right now. It would have been in the history books. Now look, I'm just saying. But it's still time to declare total immunity and admit that you rigged the election. And then you more than likely see your profits go up for being a hero and saving our democracy. But continue being an idiot. Just want to point that out. Continue being an idiot. And then you have Trump versus Putin. Trump has sharply criticized Putin over Russia's record-breaking drone attacks on Ukraine. He called Putin absolutely crazy. Now, this is Trump talking about Putin. Are we surprised that he goes against Putin after Putin helped Elon Musk rid the election for him to, become next president. It's not surprising. He do it all the time. He don't give a shit. He think it's God of our gods, kings of our kings. He can do what the fuck he want. So he called Putin absolutely crazy and warned that continued aggression could lead to Russia's downfall, which means he's threatening war. So he's trying to kill us. Trump is now he's acting like a terrorist people. Trump is now considering new sanctions against Moscow, despite previously maintaining a friendly friendship with Putin. Now he's going against Putin. So we're going to, meaning you know what, I'm going to stay out of this because I feel some telling me I should just stay out of this. I'm not going to even comment on this right now. But you see, Trump, you understand. Trump put Musk in a risky situation, a risky position. I mean, Musk has largely tried to stay out of Trump business. Sure, whatever. See, Trump and the Putin feud, you understand, his businesses' interests are affected by Trump's tariffs policies and the Ukraine conflict. This is Putin. His financial state right now is definitely compromising. His companies rely on international supply chains and disruption caused by U.S.-Russia tensions and impact his operations. The situation is evolving, and the fallout from these disputes could have major political economic consequences, meaning Putin could ignite war with us, but a war now will be bad because Trump fired our educated, experienced federal military and government leaders and officials. This is part of Project 2025, which has Russian roots and involvement in creation and authors. Take a look at the videos.
We now have evidence that Elon Musk gave Russia sensitive government data. The whistleblower who came forward said, quote, "I can't attest to what their end goal was or what they're doing with the data, but I can tell you that the bits of the puzzle I can quantify are scary." He said that DOGE ordered him and others at the National Labor Relations Board to allow access to extremely sensitive data. And then he watched as Russia immediately started accessing and downloading all of it. He was ordered to delete all records of what he had done and leave no trace. And the man is terrified after what came next. Once he blew the whistle to NPR, he came home to find a threatening note taped to his door that included personal info and a picture of him that was taken from a drone. NPR was able to corroborate his account with 30 other employees. Elon Musk personally came in and handed over sensitive U.S. government data to Russia, and we have no idea how bad it is. And no one is even talking about this because we are all distracted by the rest of the circus. We now have.
Did you guys hear that? Yes, that means, yes, that was the deal we had with Russia to access our data. So I told you, Putin helped Elon Musk rig the election for our data. And now he's going against Elon Musk, which can kill us. Don't you guys know that?
A disturbing admission from Donald Trump that we all knew he was doing this, but to actually see him post this, it is deeply disturbing and disgusting. He writes, "What Vladimir Putin doesn't realize is that if it weren't for me, lots of really bad things would have already happened to Russia. And I mean really bad. He's playing with fire!" Exclamation point. So you realize, Donald, that this morning you're admitting you've been aiding and abetting Vladimir Putin in the genocide of Ukraine. You know how many thousands of soldiers who you're responsible for killing, Donald? You know how many innocent Ukrainians you're responsible for killing? You have blood on your hands, Donald.
He doesn't care about
that is very clear by your own admission. But you're admitting that because of your friendship with Vladimir Putin, you allowed him to continue the killing even more. It's so utterly disgusting.
Trump don't give a shit about people. He don't give a shit. Here are more videos.
We just may be on the verge of finding out what Vladimir Putin
has on Donald Trump. Now, we all woke up today to Donald Trump firing shots at Putin, warning him that he was playing with fire. And this is on the heels of him saying that they were talking, and then all of a sudden, Putin started shooting rockets. And what did Putin do? He launched the largest drone strike he's ever launched since the war started. And the question is, why is Donald Trump all of a sudden changing his tune?
That he suddenly changed. These are the ones that maybe you can't tell because they're dead. They were killed by falling out of windows, falling out of bathtub onto the street, falling down the stairs, assaulted, poisoned through the ears. Perhaps if you told them something had suddenly happened to him, he's suddenly gone crazy, they would think that you had gone crazy.
Right.
Think about Russian agent turned Kremlin critic Alexander Litvinenko. He's dead. He was poisoned in London. British investigation found that Putin probably approved the killing personally. And opposition leader Alexei Navalny, poisoned by a Soviet nerve agent, miraculously survived but died in February of last year, being held at one of the most notorious penal colonies in all of Russia. In an op-ed the Wall Street Journal writes, Mr. Trump may be the only person in the world still surprised by how Mr. Putin is behaving. The Russian is the same man he's been for 2 decades, bent on reconstituting as much of the old Soviet empire as he can get away with. Ukraine is his obsession. Kristen Holmes begins our coverage of the live outside the White House. So, Kristen, what are you learning about why Trump has suddenly, so it's just not just that it's abrupt, it is a complete 180 in terms of his tone on Putin. Yeah, and there are a couple of reasons for this. The one, they say that a lot of it is because he has escalated the attacks in Ukraine, particularly the fact that this escalation came after the two leaders, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, had this 2.5-hour-long phone conversation. But there is something else as well. We are told that in this conversation, Putin committed to drafting what he called a memorandum of peace to give to both the U.S. and Ukraine in a matter of days, which was essentially what Russia wanted or what they needed, their requirements for a Ukrainian war ceasefire. Now we are at more than a week since that phone call, and nobody has gotten any such document. Now, we did hear from Russian officials who said they were still working on it, but that is adding to this layer of frustration that you were seeing from Donald Trump. Now, we were also told that Trump told Putin he had to work directly with Ukraine, that Russia and Ukraine had to work together. Europe and the United States would serve as potential intermediaries, but also would be there to help. This, again, the fact that we're seeing Putin then escalate the attacks in Ukraine instead of doing any of what he committed to doing during this phone call is causing a lot of this frustration. Why you're now seeing these conversations behind closed doors, these administration officials are talking to us about Donald Trump potentially adding to the sanctions on Russia. And just a week ago, when Putin and Trump had this phone call, what we heard from Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance, it sounded like the sanctions were really off the table, or any additional sanctions. Now you're hearing Donald Trump talking about this, but in addition to that, we know this is being floated behind the scenes as potential next steps. Right. So thank you.
So, in other words, Putin is clearly calling Donald Trump's bluff. He's making it clear, I'm not taking any orders from you. I am going to do whatever I want to do, and guess what? There's nothing you can do about it. That's the message Russia is sending to Donald Trump, and you just can't help but wonder, why would they send such a message, right? Because they didn't do this under Joe Biden. Why would they send such a message unless they felt very confident that they could do something and get away with it? The question is, what does Putin have on Trump? Because otherwise, these sanctions, they should have been in place, right?
There are plenty crap on Trump.
All right, so I just read this absolutely brilliant article, and I have to share what I learned with you guys because it explains so much about Donald Trump, Putin, and why the world feels like it's going off the rails right now. So this whole article is about Fiona Hill, and she was Trump's top Russia advisor. She's also worked under Bush and Obama, and is honestly one of the smartest, most level-headed people in geopolitics today. She's been face-to-face with Putin, and she's literally sat close enough to him to be able to smell the detergent on his suit. Like, she knows his whole world inside and out, and her insight on Trump, it's brutal, and it's terrifying. So get this, back in 2018, Putin unveiled Russia's first hypersonic missile and showed a simulation of it hitting a landmass that looked suspiciously like Florida. Now, Trump saw it, and apparently his face turned white. Fiona Hill was standing right next to him at the time, and she said that that moment revealed everything for her. Trump is scared of Putin, like legitimately terrified, not in some strategic way, but in a very, please don't nuke my golf course kind of way. And his fear of nuclear conflict has shaped his entire attitude towards Putin, and it's why he acts so differential and even submissive. And here's the thing, Trump doesn't really understand what Putin even wants.
Are we even surprised by that? I mean, no, we're not. We're not surprised by that. Seriously. All right, and let's talk about Trump's big, beautiful bill. Y'all remember that? Trump's one big, beautiful bill is a massive legislative package that aims to submit his second-term agenda into law. Like, he know he gonna get voted in again. I mean, dude was seriously feeling himself, okay? Anyway, it narrowly passed the House and is now facing debate in the Senate. Here are some of its key provisions. You guys should understand this because it affects us all unless I'm in the freaking live stream with a bunch of billionaires and how did out there. Tax cuts and extension. The bill extends Trump 2017 tax cuts and job tax, eliminates taxes on tips and overtime, and allows deductions on auto loan interest for cars assembled in the U.S. Medicaid restrictions. It imposes work requirements for Medicaid recipients, bans Medicaid coverage for gender transition procedures, and cuts federal funds to states that provide Medicaid coverage to undocumented immigrants. Yeah, which means homelessness will go pretty much crazy and so will crime. Border and deportation funding. The bill boasts funding for border security and deportation efforts, aligning with Trump's immigration policy because he's so obsessed with immigration. Great, which could coincide with the rumor of trafficking that he's involved with, hence why they haven't released the Jeffrey Epstein files, but he's so all into this crap. Great energy rollbacks. It slashes tax incentives for solar and electric vehicle industries, which has sparked concerns about job losses in the renewable energy sector, which conflicts with Musk business. Again, Musk, you have time to declare immunity and admit that you rigged the election, but go broke, whatever. AI regulation ban. The bill includes a 10-year ban on states regulating AI, preventing them from enforcing existing oversight laws. This bill has drawn sharp criticism from Elon Musk, who argues that it increases the federal deficits and undermines the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, among other things. Some lawmakers are also concerned about its economic impact, particularly its effects on low-income Americans, which means this bill only benefits billionaires and high-class millionaires. The middle class and the third class, which is people with low limited means, will be highly affected. How might this bill affect different industries or political dynamics? Here, how it's impacting different sectors. Energy and renewables. The bill slashes tax credits for solar and wind energy. Okay? Which could lead to higher electricity costs and job losses in the clean energy sector. The Solar Energy Industries Association warns that nearly 300 solar and battery storage factories could shut down, potentially wiping out $220 billion in investment by 2030, which means it could bankrupt our country. We'll be so broke. We used to be the hub and pretty much the leader of this world, and now we're just the laughing stock and we're going broke. I don't think y'all know how serious this is. AI intelligence. The bill bans states from regulating AI for 10 years, which means preventing oversight and deep fake scams and AI assistance disinformation, which means they want to control what information gets dealt through AI, which means if there's any historical legitimacy or proven, they don't want that to be done. They want to control what information comes in and what information comes out, which means they try to rewrite history. They try to take it back like 10, 20, 30, 50 fucking years, judge for this. Critics argue this could increase risk of related to AI misuse, while supporters claim it will accelerate innovation. So there's definitely a debate on this AI conflict. Tax cuts and business impact. The bill extends Trump 2017 tax cuts benefiting high-income earners such as himself and the other unrich person who pretty much evaded taxes. Benefiting high-income earners by reducing sources for low-income households. It also eliminates taxes on tips and overtime pay. Which means overtime pay can definitely be in jeopardy, and tips, which could boost take-home wages for some workers. It may boost. Doesn't mean it really going to boost. Medicaid and social programs. The bill cuts nearly $800 billion for Medicaid, so a lot of elderly people and people will be sick and die, and pretty much a lot of hospitals and private, practices will go bankrupt. So, but hey, as long as the rich is pretty much taken care of, yeah. So impose strict work requirements that could lead to millions losing coverage. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that at least 10 million people could be affected or more. Debt and economic concerns. Some Republican lawmakers feel the bill is a debt bomb, with projections showing it could increase the federal deficit by $3 trillion over the next decade. Concerns about bond market instability and rising interest rates are growing among the fiscal conservative. The bill is now facing Senate debate where some provisions may be modified or may be removed altogether. Take a look at these clips.
Man, get in here. It just got juicy. So, in case you ain't heard, they've been having these birthright 14th Amendment secret meetings. And you know me, Getty had to get in on it, and why it's so secretive, because you haven't been hearing about it, right? They use some phrases in there, like Aborigines, African descent, right? Now, I go look it up. And guess who are the Aborigines? You and I. But it gets a little more deeper. Let me show you these receipts. Let me show you these receipts, baby. Man, get in here.
We'll talk about that now.
The Second Amendment says that if the Trump administration cuts SNAP, the budget by even $1, that the provisions in this bill that would cut federal employees' salaries, their pensions, labor protections would immediately expire. I know my time is about to expire, but I want to say one thing. Being a new member of Congress, what has hurt me the most is a woman who was a teen mom who took my daughter on the bus every single day to childcare, and I got support. I then, as a transit-dependent person, once a month, took an hour-and-a-half bus to get $26 worth of food stamps, then would go to college, and then my day job, and then pick that baby up and come back again. That baby is an attorney. She passed the bar on the first time. How dare we cut benefits of hard-working Americans? I got to tell you the second thing that's really deeply on my heart. I learned that the child care workers in this here building who take care of the children of members of Congress make $30,000. You think they can pay for a 2-bedroom in Washington, D.C.? If you haven't been poor, don't legislate for the poor. Let's step up and protect Americans who are working with their full bodies, their full spirits. Instead, you are putting forth a bill that pathologizes the folks who need us most. Lastly, Madam Chair, I ask every Republican in the conference to walk with me after you vote this weekend. Get on a plane, come to the Children's Hospital in Oakland, and you tell the BMT nurses, you tell that mother who has a child with TMP in her nose, that child may in fact die. With me and walk with me and stand in line like I did when my husband died at the Social Security office, begging for a $600 death benefit. Walk with me. You all have an opportunity to vote your conscience, your spirit. Vote for the people. Vote for the real people of this country that keep the tapestry moving, and I'll yield back.
Beautiful. Give her a hand clap. That was a powerful freaking speech. Yeah. Yeah, she deserves that right there. Oh, yeah. That was definitely needed. She spoke that. Hell to the freaking yes.
Mr. Chairman, as I read it, your bill is giving the congressional authority to the executive to do it without Congress.
No, that's not true.
Can you
You're misinterpreting the bill.
Can you please point us to the language in the bill that retains Congress's authority?
You don't even know what's in that goddamn bill. That's the part that's
It requires a
hilarious.
privilege resolution in Congress.
Can you please point us to the page and the line number that requires congressional consent for reorganization of the federal government?
You don't even know what's in his own bill. These people don't even know what's in their own goddamn bill. This is freaking crazy. This is embarrassing. Okay, we hearing crickets. We hearing crickets. What's going on? Is he going to answer the question or not?
Sections 908 and 909 of Title 5.
I'm sorry,
Bill.
Mr. Chairman. Section 908 says striking December 31st, 1985. Can you please refer to the language that retains Congress's authority under the United States Constitution to rein in the executive to stop it from eliminating unnecessary duties, reducing federal employees, amending rules and regulations, and eliminating executive departments, agencies, independent establishments, offices, or officers of the executive branch.
Still crickets.
You're intentionally misrepresenting the bill.
Mr. Chairman, I'm reading the bill and
No.
I'm asking you as the
Read the bill.
sponsor to point to us where your bill, which you are trying to pass through this committee today, retains the authority of Congress.
It changes the date to 2026.
What is he talking about?
We prepared in anticipation of Donald Trump winning this election. We looked at Project 2025, looked at jurisdiction, we looked at venue, we looked at a wide range of issues, which is why when he filed his first executive order in regards to birthright citizenship, we responded within 48 hours. We have sued birthright citizenship. We've got a preliminary injunction. Elon Musk, we've sued him and Doge. We were successful. We've sued in regards to the Office of Management.
Trump's still not in jail, so I don't
froze
know if she
funds
makes
in
no stupid
FEMA. We were
speech.
successful. We sued on probationary employees. All those probationary employees who were terminated, we won. We sued on NHI, National Health Institute. We were successful in getting a preliminary injunction. We sued on the dismantling of the Department of Education. We were successful. We got a TRO. We were successful in regards to the education grants. I can go on and on and on. The point is that we are winning.
I'm sure that's so far. He's still president. Just want to point that out. All right, let's move on here. We're going to move on to the subject that you guys are eager to freaking see. Okay, let's move on to celeb gossip. This is what y'all want to see. This is what y'all dying to see. Most of you guys just came to talk about this. So let's talk about this. All right, we're going to do an AMA recap here. Anyway, so Similar AMAs were packed with unforgettable moments hosted by Jennifer Lopez. The event featured electrifying performances from artists such as Billie Eilish, Gwen Stefani, Gloria Estefan, Blake Shelton, Janet Jackson made a stunning return to the stage, marking her first TV performance since 2018, it said. While Rod Stewart received the Lifetime Achievement Award and performed his classic hit, Forever Young, whatever. Billie Eilish, however you pronounce this person's name, I don't even know who this person is, dominated the night, winning Artist of the Year and Album of the Year for Hit Me Hard and Soft. Kendrick Lamar, who led the nominations with 10 nods, also had a strong showing, while Gracie Abrams, sorry about that, took home New Artist of the Year. The ceremony was held at the blah, 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 blah in Las Vegas. Yada, yada, yada. Don't really care. Now, here's the drama. Here is the 4 list of winners. And then we'll get to the shit behind stage because I don't care about these AMAs. I didn't watch it. I stopped watching awards years ago because I just don't care. I'm going to point that out. I don't fucking care about what goes on at these stupid award shows. I'm not getting a goddamn award. But you guys probably care about this, so we're going to go ahead and talk about this.
AMAs finally updated their website with all of the winners, so here they are. Artist of the Year, Song of the Year, Collaboration of the Year, Social Song of the Year, Favorite Touring Artist, Favorite Music Video, Favorite Male Pop Artist, Favorite Female Pop Artist, Favorite Pop Album, Favorite Pop Song, Favorite Male Country Artist, Favorite Female Country Artist, Favorite Country Duo or Group, Favorite Country Album, Favorite Country Song, Favorite Male Hip Hop Artist, Favorite Female Hip Hop Artist, Favorite Hip Hop Album, Favorite Hip Hop Song, Favorite Male R&B Artist, Favorite Female R&B Artist, Favorite R&B Album, Favorite R&B Song, Favorite Male Latin Artist, Favorite Female Latin Artist, Favorite Latin Duo or Group, Favorite Latin Album, Favorite Latin Song, Favorite Rock Artist, Favorite Rock Album, Favorite Rock Song, Favorite Dance Electronic Artist, Favorite Soundtrack, Favorite Afrobeats Artist, and lastly, Favorite K-Pop Artist. Let me know what you guys think.
RM, wow, they won? They actually are in the AMAs? Shocking. Didn't know K-pop was even in the category. Good for them. They came up. Now here's the drama surrounding the awards.
The American Music Awards this year was messy and a huge flop. Let's do a recap and discuss the downfall of the AMAs and award shows in general, and how they punished Taylor Swift in an awkward call-out moment because she didn't show up. Hosted by Jennifer Lopez, it had one of the lowest viewerships in record of this award show's history. I don't know if you knew, but the AMAs were actually canceled for the last 2 years, and this was supposed to be its first big year back to see if it can re-assimilate itself into culture, and it flopped. And the sole reason that it flopped is that they couldn't get any big artist to attend the show. Absolutely 0 of the 10 artists nominated for Album of the Year showed up. So in an unprecedented award show move, they only announced 6 awards in 2 hours. The only 6 awards they handed out, everyone had to accept over video call. And The Weeknd didn't even bother to wipe the dust off of his camera lens. There was over 30 awards that they didn't announce at the live show because no one showed up and no one even sent in a video call. So they just announced the winners on Twitter. This award show really could have just been an email. They could only get legacy acts to perform like Rod Stewart and Janet Jackson, which are iconic, but they were already down the street at their Las Vegas residency anyway. Everyone was getting an Icon Award or a Lifetime Achievement Award tonight, honey, except J-Lo. And they got the most nobody cares Republican couple to perform, Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton. But they didn't get them to perform live. They got them to pre-record a performance and then lie to the viewers that they were performing live, but they weren't. They were trying to make the American Music Awards great again, but it didn't work. SZA showed up for approximately 5 seconds, and Benson Boone terrorized the front row with his backflip. Renee Rapp also performed, but they're still kind of getting their foot in pop. And since no current artist showed up, J-Lo danced to a medley of all of their hit songs over the last year. I don't know if the artist consented to this. And the AMA's producers, I know they were livid that Taylor Swift did not show up. She really said there will be no explanation. There will just not be reputation. And even though she's the most awarded artist in AMA history with 40 awards, They did not give her a single one of her 6 nominations tonight. No touring award. And all the Swifties online are saying that they punished Taylor in this very awkward moment. While they were reading the winner for Artist of the Year, they let the fans cheer for everyone, but they muted the crowd during Taylor Swift's name.
Sabrina Carpenter. Taylor Swift.
For more incredible pop culture content, make sure to follow on all apps in case of a ban, because in Patty we trust.
Okay, so I'm a little confused. Is the AMA's MAGA supporter or something? Is that what we're doing here? I'm just confused.
After seeing some clips and reading some articles about the AMAs last night, I believe the award show season might be in its death rattle era. So first of all, it was hosted by J-Lo, which we were just talking about J-Lo and how it's so interesting how she is so quiet right now with everything going on in the legal proceedings of her ex-boyfriend, P. Diddy. But she was very much there, and she had a total of 8 wardrobe changes in this evening. She's been trying to stay out of the spotlight for so long that she just popped out with her entire wardrobe. Like all the events she skipped out on because of the headlines surrounding her divorce with Ben and her ex-boyfriend being a monster. She just decided to make up for lost time, I suppose. Like, how did she have the time? How did she have the time to do this? And yesterday at the AMA, she also announced that she will be having a Las Vegas residency, which is so insane to me. Like after a failed tour because she was not selling tickets, a Vegas residency does not make any sense to me. On top of hosting the show, J-Lo also did the opening performance. Just a couple clips from the opening act. It was pretty chaotic. I can also be kind too. J-Lo does look amazing. She's in her 50s and I acknowledge that. She looks great. Heidi and Spencer were also at the AMAs and I really don't have too much to say on them other than whoever installed this wig is not a fan of Heidi. James Charles was also present at the AMAs. Unfortunately, I don't know who keeps inviting him places, but one of the biggest scandals to come out of the AMAs this year was the fact that, as per usual, as any award show, it was advertised as a live show. But mysteriously, some of the artists were accepting their awards in pre-taped thank you speeches. Like they weren't even present at the show at all. And they had already known that they were going to win, and their thank you acceptance speech was pre-filmed and then played on our televisions. But the live audience was fully aware that they were not there accepting any awards. And the same also went for some of the people who were advertised to be performing at the AMAs. So Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton were both supposed to be performing. And on our television screens, it did look like they were performing. But people in the audience captured the fact that, nope, this was being broadcasted on a screen. This was not live. This was a pre-recorded show with a fake audience. Fake audience.
When Blake Shelton is performing at the Emma Awards, but there is no Blake Shelton in sight.
Wow, I don't even know what to say about this.
No Blake Shelton. And just to add the cherry on top to this inauthentic award show, Benson Boone was, of course, there, flipping all over the place in true Benson Boone fashion. I think it's a sign of the time the award show era might be giving us its last hurrah, and I'm not going to be too upset about it. After watching Doechii at the Grammys perform anyway, I think I'm good. I don't need to see anything else for the rest of the year. That did me in. Top tier couldn't get better than that, so might as well wrap it up.
Wow. What do you guys think about that? You think the award show is seriously just not in void? Should they just say screw the award shows now? I mean, it's starting to look that way. It's starting to look like they should just say fuck the award shows. What's the point of having them now? At least that's what they're proclaiming in these videos. What do you guys think? You think let me know in the comment section if anyone's even available. Don't even know. Now let's get on to Diddy news. All right, and Diddy In news, Diddy ex-assistant Capricorn Current basically collaborated with Kid Cudi on the kidnapping, arson, domestic violence, and firearm possession and more, which is another form of RICO charges among many other scenarios. Here's the breakdown here. You see, Diddy is facing racketeering charges under the RICO Act, which prosecutors argue stem from a criminal enterprise involving sex trafficking, drug distribution, and intimidation tactics. Now, this case hinges on proving that Diddy led an organized network that engaged in ongoing illegal activities. One of the most damaging testimonies came from Capricorn Clark, a former employee who described being forced to procure drugs for Diddy and witnessing violent abuse against Cassie Ventura. Clark also testified that Diddy blacklisted her from the industry and used financial hush money and agreements to silence the victims. Prosecutors argued that these actions fit the criteria for structured criminal enterprise, which essential is for RICO, since you guys are confused if he's charged with RICO. Additionally, Kid Cudi testimony detailed an alleged break-in at his home where Diddy reportedly threatened his life after learning about his relationship with Cassie. I mean, he was obsessed with Cassie, okay? An LAPD officer and an arson investigator testified about a firebombing incident at Cudi's home, which prosecutors suggest was linked to Diddy's intimidation tactics. Now, these testimonies strengthened the case that Diddy's actions were not isolated, but part of a coordinated criminal operation. While the court has not officially confirmed their RICO conviction, legal experts believe the pattern of abuse, coercion, and financial manipulation could solidify the charges. Now, I know many of you were wondering if Cassie testimony proved RICO. Well, Cassie Ventura testimony has become highly impactful in the case against Diddy. But of course, legal experts suggest that Capricorn Clark's testimony may be even more crucial in establishing RICO charges. Clark, a former employee, described a structured criminal enterprise involving drug distribution, intimidation, and financial hush agreements, which aligns with the legal criteria for RICO. But Cassie testimony, however, provided graphic details of abuse, okay, coercion, reinforcing the pattern of criminal behavior prosecutors needed to prove racketeering enterprise. Okay, so that's what happened. Cassie's testimony mixed with Capricorn Clark's and Kid Cudi's literally solidified and provided validity of RICO charges and a criminal enterprise and a criminal operation. Okay. Of course, Cassie provided more intimidation and violence and things of that nature, but you know, the other two definitely sealed it. Now, her statements combined also with Deontay's Nash testimony paint a picture of a systematic control and violence, which could further support the RICO case. So there's so much evidence of RICO, it's really seeping and melting everywhere. Oh, and the judge denied the legal teams, in terms of Diddy's legal teams, request for mistrial. The defense argued that the testimony from an arson investigator about destroying fingerprint evidence related to the firebomb in Kid Cudi's car was what they said was fiduciary or whatever, and could unfairly influence the jury. So it's prejudicial and could unfairly influence the jury. So it was thrown out. Okay. However, the judge, Aaron Sumerian, I think his name is Sumerian, what the fuck his name is, ruled that testimony was not prejudicial. I can't even speak today, for real. Prejudicial. I can't even talk. Can't fucking talk. Anyways, it was thrown out and instructed the jury to disregard any mention of destroyed fingerprint cards. Despite the defense objections, the trial was continued and scheduled. So just to sum it up, the Diddy attorneys trying to throw out Kid Cudi's and Capricorn Clark's testimony was thrown out. They're trying to declare a mistrial on that alone. It was thrown out and the judge denied it. So the case is still scheduled as promised. So there it is. Diddy is still being tried, and he's still on trial. So again, stop believing what TMZ and the Shade Room say. They're getting paid and are biased as hell. I love their news, but their posts are having me side-eyeing them. I mean, thinking whose side are you really on? The predators and the rapists? Just saying. You praise Boosie, who is a known, don't get me started on his little sick, disgusting background. And you praise Diddy, it seems. You seem to be praising the wrong kind of people. It makes you wonder whose side they're on. Here are some videos here.
These attorneys are pissed off, and it has everything to do with what firefighter Lance Jimenez just said on the witness stand. They're currently on a 10-minute break. They removed the jury from the courtroom, and all the attorneys are speaking to the judge, and let me tell you why. So Lance Jimenez had said he responded to Kid Cudi's home in January of 2012, and when they arrived, they had seen exactly what we saw in the images. He said the Porsche was parked close to the garage, and he witnessed the fact that the roof was cut up and the inside of the car was slightly burned. There was a bottle and a very fancy handkerchief that had fallen out of the bottle. In his opinion, the Porsche was targeted because it was in a low-crime, affluent neighborhood and was not easily visible in the street. He also said there was another car parked in the driveway at the time that was not harmed. And he says, while yes, it was severely damaged, it's not the kind of catastrophic damage he normally sees from a Molotov cocktail. He testified that there was a disposable lighter outside of the car, a bottle on the driver's seat that was filled with gasoline, and a handkerchief that was sitting on the center console. He said the gasoline did not spread throughout the car because the cloth fell out and the bottle didn't shatter. He said had the bomb exploded as intended, the car parked a few feet from the house would have likely spread to the nearby foliage and eventually the home. Now, this is when Diddy's attorneys get really upset. Remember, when Kid Cudi was on the stand, it was Diddy's attorneys that asked him if he knew there was DNA found on the bottle and that it belonged to a female. Now, the prosecution was upset that that had come up, but they said, okay, you want to play? We'll talk about the DNA. They asked Lance Jimenez, the partial DNA profile wasn't consistent with a female contributor. He responds saying, I was told that. The prosecutor says, do you know what it means? He says, no. The prosecutor then says, what happened to the print cards? And he responds saying they were destroyed in 2012. On whose orders? Someone in LAPD. Not you or anyone on your team. And Diddy's attorney says, I'm going to object to all of this. Can we have a sidebar? Obviously, the prosecution's trying to paint the picture that Diddy has someone on the inside of LAPD working for him because he's that powerful. Now, CNN gave more information about this exchange. So, you know, this happened in January of 2012, and he said that the cards were destroyed by an LAPD officer in August of 2012. He said he collected a card with 2 prints to compare to anything retrieved from the arson incident. A print card was kept in evidence from the arson case and destroyed by an LAPD officer in August of 2012, and he testified that he typically has to sign off on the destruction of any evidence as submitted as a lead investigator. Mark Agnifilo said this line of questioning is outrageous. They are suggesting to this jury that someone in this courtroom had something to do with the improper and suspicious destruction of these fingerprints. And the jury was just let back in, and it looks like the judge agreed with Diddy's side, saying that they need to disregard the fingerprint card's testimony. Investigator Lance Jimenez is still on the stand. They haven't started cross yet, and I will be back to let you know what else happened.
She summed it up for you. There you go. Bam. I could have just had her say it and I ain't have to say it. She saved me a lot of freaking energy.
For those of you who kept saying that y'all didn't think the prosecution team was doing a good job at proving how this was a RICO, you might have spoke too soon. Okay? Because the testifying on the stand today went kind of stupid. For those of you who don't know, Capricorn Clark took the stand today. Capricorn is one of Diddy's long-standing former employees. She worked for him from about 2004 to about 2020. She testified to being a direct witness to things like kidnapping, threats to her life and other people's lives, and all sorts of other organized crime. Also, if you want the full breakdown, make sure you go to my YouTube channel where I'll be talking about it in more detail. But y'all remember how Kid Cudi testified that Capricorn Clark was the one that called to let them know that Diddy was outside of Kid Cudi's house and she was sitting in the car? Well, allegedly, she was forced to go with Diddy against her own will. Capricorn Clark testified that she got Cassie a burner phone when Cassie asked if they could hang out with Kid Cudi because she told Cassie that she needed to be more safe so that Diddy wouldn't find out about the relationship between her and Kid Cudi. Diddy somehow found out that Capricorn knew about the relationship between Cassie and Kid Cudi, showed up at Capricorn's apartment with a gun in his hand, looking disheveled, yelling at her about her knowing and telling her that they were going to Kid Cudi's house to unalive him. Now, Capricorn is saying that she did not want to go, but Diddy didn't leave her with much of a choice because he came there with a weapon in his hand. And then on the car ride there was a driver who was a security guard, Diddy and Capricorn, and Diddy went from having the weapon in his waistband to having it on his lap the entire car ride. Now, remember, when Kid Cudi testified, he said that Capricorn Clark was the one that let them know that Diddy was inside his house while she was waiting in the car. Well, Capricorn said that while she was talking to Cassie on the burner phone that she helped get Cassie, Diddy came back out to the car, asked her who she was talking to, called the number back, and realized that it was Cassie on the other line, and then went off on Capricorn Clark. Some outlets have even been saying that in her testimony, she said that they actually got into a high-speed chase with Kid Cudi, and Kid Cudi was able to lose them, and that's when Kid Cudi decided to go home and call the police.
That's crazy.
Now, if that wasn't enough to show organized crime, she also testified that when Diddy found out that she had some sort of connection to Suge Knight, that he and another bodyguard took her to Central Park and told her that that could cause her to lose her life. Okay. And another important detail is that at some point he made her take a lie detector test, and Capricorn asked him, well, what happens if I fail the lie detector test? And he said that she could end up in the East River. Okay. I think the prosecution is doing a great job at landing the plane, if you ask me. For those of you,
yeah, I needed more information.
Good morning, y'all. I ain't made a video in about a week and a half, and y'all know why. I've been watching Diddy. I hope y'all been watching it too. And we're gonna clarify some shit real quick this morning. Right?
Clarify some shit.
If another person says Cassie gonna lose or Diddy ain't gonna beat Cassie, y'all, that is not even what the case is about. That is not even remotely what the case is about, okay? Cassie is not going against him. She's a witness. And guess what? There's 99 more. Yes, they got 100 witnesses against Diddy. But anyway, and if I hear another person say, this is not about domestic violence. No shit, Sherlock, it's not about domestic violence. It's about prostitution. It's about racketeering. And it's about, what's the other? Sex trafficking. Okay. Right. That's what it's about. Okay. So first of all, let me catch y'all up to speed. All right. The reason why they did the first week of Cassie and some of the girls that he touched, things like that, because you can't have sex trafficking without DV. Y'all hear me? You can't have sex trafficking without domestic violence. Okay. Can't nobody control nobody without. That's the point of that. It's not Cassie against Diddy. Dumb people. Right. Okay. And let's get to what they found that proves the racketeering and the illegal business enterprises he was running. They found 15 to 20 AR-15s and machine guns with serial numbers removed. Again, removed. So we all know that's a big case within itself. I don't even know if Diddy needs to even go to trial for anything else. That's enough. Boom. You gonna play it. And Diddy's a felon. I don't know if y'all know. Google it and figure it out. Diddy's a felon. He ain't supposed to have one gun, let alone 15, 20 guns without serial numbers. All right. So needless to say, Diddy's cooked. Cooked. And it's just going to get better. Yes, y'all heard me just now. 99 more witnesses. It's a total of 100 witnesses. All right. And yeah. I think they're going to tie him to some other things too, like Biggie, Pac.
I hope so.
They're going to tie him to some stuff. I think we're going to talk about the twins though next, and the kids.
Oh yeah, naive kids.
Something's weird about that too.
Yeah, it's very weird about those kids, especially one of his daughters.
Diddy's cooked, and again, it ain't about Cassie. Cassie was just the beginning of the trial. Okay, trials are like movies. Trials are like books. So they started off, all right, just like they started off with Jonathan Oden, right? Yes, the sex worker. Then they got Cassie. Then they got some of the sex workers that beat the Punisher. Y'all hear about the Punisher? He was on there too. He was one of the ones that said Cassie didn't look like she enjoyed it. He said he couldn't even get together because she looked like she was miserable. Said she made an ugly face every time Diddy tried to instruct her on what to do sexually. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, because just so y'all know, Cassie could have been the biggest freak in the world. She could have enjoyed the whole thing.
Ew, I doubt that.
The shit Diddy was doing is still illegal. Because for one, the case is not a TV case. If it was, it would be in the state, not in the federal courts. Okay? That's just part of the climax to the good part. See, Cassie ain't even the good part. Y'all ain't even heard the good part yet. This shit's going on for 8 more weeks.
8 more weeks, people.
That's it. That's all. I'm going back in and watch this case and work.
Just after 11 o'clock this morning, the defense said we are moving for a
This is recorded this morning in terms of the mistrial of Diddy defense team trying to throw out Kid Cudi's and Capricorn Clark's testimony.
trial based on prosecutorial misconduct. The motion was denied. But here's the backstory. Lance Jimenez, an arson investigator, was asked about that Molotov cocktail that was found inside Kid Cudi's car back in 2012. He said that in August of 2012, print cards were destroyed. Here's where the defense took the issue. There were 2 additional questions asked that said, did you authorize prints to be destroyed? This is what the prosecution asked the arson investigator. Then they said, was this unusual? So the defense said in their argument as to why they want a mistrial that they felt this was prejudicial. They felt like this was the prosecution trying to put in the jurors' heads that Combs somehow was involved with the destruction of evidence. But again, the judge denied the motion for a mistrial, and instead, when the jurors came back, he said to them, quote, questions regarding destruction of fingerprint cards are irrelevant and not to be considered in this case.
There you go. Because fingerprints can be manipulated and it's not a clear defense mechanism or anything. So I would throw it out too, like that's not even important right now. You already got 2 witnesses saying he did it, and that's all you need at this current moment. Don't try to use the fingerprints and manipulate the fingerprints and use it as a defense mechanism like they did Cassie by trying to paint her as some hussy. They're just throwing shit at the wall at this moment. I mean, if you guys don't see that, you guys are stupid. They're literally just throwing shit at the wall at this point. For real, straight up. It's kind of pathetic. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. I was going to talk about brain food, but I don't feel like it. And you guys are too quiet, so I'm just going to end it here. Thank you guys for coming on here. I have like a couple more weeks for this premiumship is over, and then I am done with these live shows. Straight up. I'm just working this subscription until it's over, and then I'm done. It's been Will. Thanks for staying throughout the duration of this video. And again, if you want to donate to the channel, click the link that's pinned above the comment section. I can really appreciate it. I have Cashapp. I have Venmo. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye. Here's a brief word from my sponsor.
The world's falling apart. Every day, another shocking headline makes you wonder what tomorrow will bring. That's why those who knows what's coming are using today to prepare. I'm talking about getting your family some high-quality emergency food from My Patriot Supply. My Patriot Supply is a nation's leading preparedness company. They've been in business for going on 14 years now, and they serve millions of American families. Now they want to help you by giving you $50 off their popular 4-week emergency food kit. Oh yes. You get 4 weeks of food per person with meals designed to give you more than 2,000 calories a day. By the way, this food stays fresh up to 25 years in proper storage, so it will be there when you need it. Other food goes bad first, you know what I mean? So don't wait. Go to Prepare with My Link with the Truth and claim your 4-week emergency food kit. You will save $50 per kit if you act now. So prepare with me at preparewithtruth.com. Don't wait.